Welcome to Falcon TV. Subscribe to the channel to stay informed and inspire us.
Kim Jong-un is the current supreme leader of North Korea, a position he inherited from his father Kim Jong-il in 2011. He is the third and youngest son of Kim Jong-il and his consort Ko Young-wei. He was born on January 8, 1984, or possibly a year later. Here are some facts about Kim Jong-un that you might find interesting. He was educated in Switzerland under a pseudonym, where he reportedly enjoyed skiing, basketball, and video games. He is married to Ri Sol-ju, a former singer and cheerleader, and they have at least one daughter named Kim Ju-ae. He is known for his ruthless purge of potential rivals, including his uncle Jang Song-thak, who was executed in 2013, and his half-brother Kim Jong-nam, who was assassinated in 2017. He has accelerated North Korea's nuclear and missile programs, conducting several nuclear tests and launching ballistic missiles that can reach the U.S. mainland. He has also engaged in unprecedented diplomacy with South Korea and the U.S., holding 3 summits with former U.S. President Donald Trump and signing a joint declaration with South Korean President Moon Jae-in to end the Korean War. He is often accompanied by his younger sister Kim Yo-jong, who is considered his closest confidant and possible successor. He has a fondness for luxury goods, such as Swiss watches, French cheese, and Russian vodka, despite international sanctions on North Korea. He suffers from various health problems, such as obesity, diabetes, gout, and smoking-related issues. He has also been absent from public view for long periods of time, sparking rumors of his death or illness. He has a quirky sense of humor and likes to make jokes with foreign leaders and journalists. He once joked that he would send a Christmas gift to Trump, which many interpreted as a threat of a missile launch. He is a fan of American pop culture and basketball. He has invited former NBA star Dennis Rodman to visit him several times and reportedly owns a collection of over 20,000 movies, including Disney classics and James Bond films. North Korean women are often subjected to discrimination, violence, and human rights violations in their country. Prostitution in North Korea is illegal and not visible to visitors, but some North Korean women and girls are forced to work in the sex trade in China, either voluntarily or forcibly. They are often abducted and sold as prostitutes, or compelled to marry Chinese men, by criminal organizations that make up to $100 million a year from this trade. The women are often trapped because China repatriates North Koreans, who then face torture at home. Some of the women are also exploited by South Korean businessmen who visit China. The report by the Korea Future Initiative, a London-based rights group, says that the victims are prostituted for as little as $4.30, sold as wives for just $150, and trafficked into cybersex dens for exploitation by a global online audience. The report is based on interviews with victims in China and exiled survivors in South Korea. The report also says that North Korea does not protect the rights of women and girls, and that sexual violence, discrimination, and abuse are common in the country. North Korean law supports sexual equality in principle, but many challenges remain in practice. North Korean women must serve a minimum of 7 years in the military, and men are required to serve 10. This is the longest mandatory service in the world. It is estimated that about 40% of women aged between 18 and 25 are in uniform. North Korean women have minimal representation in positions of influence within the ruling Workers' Party of Korea, WPK, comprising 10% of divisional directors in government bodies, 11.9% of judges and lawyers, 4.9% of diplomats, and 16.5% of officials in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. North Korean women are subject to intense and pervasive sexual and gender-based violence, including rape, sexual harassment, forced abortion, and human trafficking. Many women who escape to China are sold as brides or sex workers, and face the risk of being repatriated and punished if caught. North Korean women face widespread discrimination in education, employment, healthcare, and social welfare. They are expected to perform most of the domestic work and childcare, while also contributing to the state economy through low-paid or unpaid labor. North Korean women have limited access to information and communication technologies, such as the internet, mobile phones, and radios. They are also restricted from traveling abroad or within the country without permission. They are subject to strict surveillance and censorship by the state security agents. North Korean women have a low life expectancy of 72 years, compared to 80 years for South Korean women. They also suffer from high rates of malnutrition, maternal mortality, infectious diseases, and chronic illnesses. North Korean women have a unique culture and history that reflects their Korean identity and their Juche ideology. Juche means self-reliance, and it is the official state philosophy of North Korea. It emphasizes independence, nationalism, and socialism as the guiding principles for building a strong and prosperous nation. The relationship between men and women in North Korea is influenced by the political, economic, and social factors of the country. The official ideology of the North Korean regime is based on the Juche idea, which emphasizes self-reliance, nationalism, and loyalty to the leader. The regime also promotes a patriarchal system that assigns different roles and expectations to men and women. Men are expected to serve in the military, work in heavy industries, and participate in political activities, while women are expected to take care of the household, children, and elderly, and work in light industries or agriculture. The regime also controls the personal lives of its citizens, including their marriage and dating choices. However, the reality of life in North Korea is often different from the official propaganda. The economic crisis and famine of the 1990s forced many people to look for alternative sources of income and survival. Women became more involved in the market economy, trading goods and services across the border with China or within the country. Women also gained more autonomy and mobility, as they had to travel to find food or work. Some women also escaped from North Korea, either voluntarily or involuntarily, and faced various challenges and risks in China or other countries. The changes in gender roles and relations have also affected the marriage and dating culture in North Korea. According to some sources, most marriages in North Korea are arranged by families or matchmakers, who consider factors such as social class, education, occupation, political loyalty, and physical appearance. The average age of marriage for women is around 21-24 years old, while for men it is around 24-27 years old. Some young people may have romantic relationships before marriage, but they have to be discreet and avoid public displays of affection. Dating venues are limited to parks, cinemas, restaurants, or cafes that are approved by the authorities. Some young people may also use mobile phones or social media to communicate with their partners, but they have to be careful not to be caught by the surveillance system. Therefore, it seems that men and women can be in a relationship in North Korea, but they have to follow strict rules and norms imposed by the regime and society. They also have to cope with the harsh living conditions and human rights violations that affect their well-being and dignity. The lack of electricity and energy in most parts of the country, which makes it difficult for people to access information, communication, education, healthcare, and entertainment. North Korea is almost completely dark at night, compared to neighboring South Korea and China, which are brightly lit by modern infrastructure. New space station photos show North Korea at night, cloaked in darkness. The ban on sending information and media to North Koreans from outside sources, such as South Korea, which limits their exposure to alternative perspectives and worldviews. The South Korean government recently passed a law that criminalizes the distribution of information and media to North Koreans through various means, such as leaflets and USB drives. The law is meant to appease the Kim regime, which considers such activities as threats to its legitimacy and stability. Don't leave North Koreans in the dark. Foreign Affairs. The widespread repression and persecution of anyone who challenges or criticizes the regime or its ideology. The regime controls all aspects of life in North Korea, from politics and religion to culture and education. It uses propaganda, censorship, surveillance, and violence to maintain its power and brainwash its citizens. Anyone who dares to dissent or defect faces severe punishment, such as imprisonment, torture, or execution.
If you liked this video, please subscribe to the channel and give a thumbs up. Thank you.